The MCU has had some ridiculous fan theories in the past, but some of them might have been correct. They do, after all, make a lot of sense. We'll go over the most fascinating and unusual stories that fans have dreamed up about the Marvel world. Here are the top 10 conspiracy theories from Marvel. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. At number 10, Marvel has given up on Thor. Few MCU films adhere to the franchise's model as poorly as Thor Ragnarok. Some fans believe that this is because Marvel abandoned the Thor franchise with Thor the Dark World. With less writing on the franchise, the director was allowed to take greater chances, resulting in an awesome film. Given that the first two Thor films were not exactly blockbusters, it's plausible that Marvel was just trying to bring the trilogy to a close. This may also explain why the director was permitted to destroy Asgard. It hasn't been confirmed, but there are good reasons to believe Marvel has surrendered on Thor. At number 9, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't take place in the main universe. Despite references to Marvel films, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. felt isolated from the MCU. None of the primary characters featured in the films, and the Avengers, were unaware that the Coulson had been revived. Furthermore, the show's big public conflicts were not addressed in the films. The multiverse may have cleared things up after years of confusion. According to theories, S.H.I.E.L.D. takes places in separate timelines. Although Coulson died in the first Avengers, there could have been a branch from reality where he lived. This explains how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. can seem tied to the MCU, despite a few important distinctions. At number 8, Captain America already knew Spider-Man. There's a good chance Steve was aware of the web-slinger. Even before learning of Spider-Man's abilities, Cap went all out against him, even dumping a sky bridge on him. Besides, as someone who's worked closely with both Tony Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D., it stands to reason he would be aware of another superpowered New York hero. And given that New York is Cap's playground, it seems to reason that he would pay close attention to any superheroic action. Peter was active as Spider-Man before the events of the Civil War, so it's not unimaginable. At number 7, Steve Rogers has been to the moon. This is both an MCU and a non-MCU conspiracy theory. Following Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers travels back in time, lives a complete life, and dies. However, the audience believes he died during Thanos' battle. However, the majority of people do not believe it. To be honest, it wouldn't have been the first time everyone assumed Cap was dead only to find out he was alive. One of the more bizarre beliefs in the cosmos holds that he is living in a hidden base on the moon. At number 6, Odin attempted to gather the stones. It's nearly irresponsible for a monarch not to search for the Infinity Stones in the Marvel Universe. And considering that Hela's mother vanished and the Asgardian vaults contained a replica of the Infinity Gauntlet, Odin could have sacrificed her for the Soul Stone. It has the potential to destroy civilizations if it falls into the wrong hands, and in the right ones, it has the potential to turn war into a long-forgotten nightmare. Odin, as a desperate conqueror, would have tried to collect the stones. At number 5, Tony's suit is easily disassembled according to careful planning. The suit in the early Iron Man films was not as frail as it appears to be in later films. Some fans assume that this is due to Stark's engineering. After all, if he's making lighter and more agile armor, it stands to reason that it won't survive as well in combat. However, fans should be aware that in the early films, Stark faced completely different threats than in later ones. The villains in the original Iron Man film were nowhere near like Ultron or Thanos. His malfunctioning suits were most likely caused by tougher adversaries rather than a weaker alloy. At number 4, Tony and Nebula foresaw what would occur on Vormir. While the directors of Avengers Endgame have revealed that Nebula was unaware that a loved one had to be sacrificed to receive the Soul Stone, fans are skeptical. Some claim that she told Tony what happened on Vormir while they were stranded together. When the heroes needed to retrieve the stones, Iron Man and Nebula knew exactly who to send. Tony didn't want to risk losing heavyweights like Hulk. Iron Man and Nebula likely planned to sacrifice a friend to ensure the Soul Stone was obtained. At number 3, Dormammu bargained with Strange intentionally. To keep Dormammu from attacking Earth, Doctor Strange used a time loop. Dormammu may have had his disciples look for global threats before fighting the Doctor. Perhaps the Dark Dimension villain discovered the Mad Titan's desire to complete the Infinity Gauntlet. Dormammu understood how to get rid of the Doctor after encountering the Time Stone. To persuade Strange to keep the cosmic item close, the villain feigned to bargain. He knew it was only a matter of time before Thanos and the Doctor collided, so the Dark Realm of Evil sat back and waited for his rival to fall. At number 2, Thanos desired to stop the Celestials. Thanos aimed to reduce this universe's overpopulation by erasing half of all life. He also discusses how this problem destroyed his world. Some fans, though, believe there are more to it. Celestials are massive beings that arise from planets when enough intelligent life emerges on them, according to Eternals. Thanos' snap delayed the Earth's emergence because the population was temporarily diminished. Given that Thanos' brother is an Eternal, it appears possible that Thanos was aware of Celestials and wished to stop them. At number 1, Iron Man didn't have to die. Doctor Strange claims to have seen only one possible future that ended well after viewing 14,605 alternative realities. However, given that the Ancient One couldn't see past her death, it's feasible that Iron Man could have lived and the Avengers may still have won if Doctor Strange had died. While fan theories regarding Doctor Strange have been proven incorrect in the past, this one is very plausible and adds another dimension to Doctor Strange's character. Given his insistence on wielding the knife, it stands to reason that he would seek someone else's sacrifice rather than his own to continue shaping the future. Well guys, that's it for this one. What'd you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. If you're new here, be sure to sub and ring that bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.